Hello, everyone. Welcome to my knitting podcast. My name is Silla and I live in Sweden. I have a podcast already in Swedish, and I've had that for 5 years. But now I'll see. Maybe I switch to English permanently, or maybe just this episode. We'll see. The reason why I've decided to switch is because the knitting community is so large. It's international, and I feel like I want to even more people welcome them here to my podcast in my home in Sweden. So, who am I? As I told you, my name is Silla, and the town I live in is called Umeå, which is kind of far up north. Internationally, I'd say it's very far up north. And you think about that, like big scale. I almost live at the Arctic circle, which is nice. I love living here in this little town. I used to live in our capital city, Stockholm, but I moved here when I met my husband, and I like it. And me and my husband have we have even 3 kids. 2 of them I gave birth to myself, and the third one is my husband's daughter, who has another mother. I'm the cool mother. The cool, what's it called? In Sweden we call it bonus mom, or yeah. So that's really nice. She started to steal my yarn though. It was like, I think 2 days ago, she said that she was thinking about starting to crochet. And I mean, if she's opening that door, I won't let her out. So she picked a few yarns, and then she went into her room, and I started to digging through my books and found some old crochet books, because I used to crochet a lot. Maybe 10 years ago, but still. So I gave her my amigurumi books. So we'll see if she needs something like that or something else. But yesterday she said that she was already out of yarn. So I've given her free access to my cotton part of my stash, not the wool. That's exclusive to me. But she can take the cotton yarns. I've only saved it if any of the kids would like to start crocheting. So she has free access, and I hope she will continue with it and eventually start knitting. That's my big evil plan. I'm gonna lure her in with the crochet. So what else about me? I'm 30 38 years old, not 30. It was a bit ago. I'm 38 years old and I've been knitting. I mean, I've been a knitter with like a capital K for 10 years now. I started when I was pregnant with my first daughter, Juni, and she turns 10 in March. So almost, it's about 10 years, I'd say. I only knit in wool, different types of wool. Sometimes I knit in alpaca or silk mohair as well, but I don't knit in superwash yarns. I don't knit in yarns that contains nylon, like plastic at all. I even started knitting socks without the plastic. I don't need the plastic in my socks. I don't really wear them out. I think maybe it's like one pair that have been worn out, and that's not my fault. It's because it was like a nail in the floor that I happened to get stuck in. No, not stuck. My sock my sock got stuck on it, or it ripped it more. I wasn't stuck. Oh well. I'm not very used to speaking English, and that's also a part of why I want to do this, to speak English with you, because I don't get a lot of practice speaking English. My sister do live in Nottingham in the UK, but she and we talk Swedish. So she's really good at English and she is teasing me sometimes, but here I am trying my best. So I enjoy, like I told you, wool. I love rustic wool. I don't mind the soft wools as long as they are natural. Sorry, I got caught up in my knitting. But I don't mind the quiet, actually. In my Swedish podcast, I do talk a lot and I do speak fast. But I can't do that when I speak English. So this will be a much more like quiet podcast, I suppose. At least in the beginning. Then we'll see when I've warmed up, so to speak. So please have patience with my English. This is what I'm knitting on at the moment. And this is the yarn. It's a very lovely color. It's dyed by a Swedish dyer called Lisa Lindkvarn. It is lovely. It's like beige and pink, and it has these warm tones that I love. I enjoy the earthy tones, as you might see. I do enjoy colors, but I want them to be a bit muted and calm. I used to love really strong colors, like hot pink and almost like nylon colors, but they used to make me very happy. Like I used to get a lot of energy from those kind of colors. Uh, but not so much anymore. It's the opposite. I get like overstimulated and tired when it's too much, and I don't mind it on others. I love seeing how should I express this in English? um, I really enjoy when people have their own style, and that style doesn't need to be like mine. I prefer them to have their own style, and I love when people use their clothes and homes and hair and everything to express their personality. I like that. And I love all kinds of people. I'm a people lover. Love, not hate, even if it's very hard during these times. It is. But it's also now that the world needs a lot of love. So you will only find love here with me. I'm a bit all over the place. I tend to lose myself when I speak and get like on a, I'm not sure what it's called in English, but that I start talking about something else and I forget what I was talking about. So we'll see. But I mean, for me, a podcast is like we're having a conversation. I wanted to feel like we're sitting at home talking about yarn and life. So I don't edit my videos. Sometimes I pause the recording if it's like some kind of noise, or if someone at home wants to speak with me, or whatever. But I don't edit. I don't cut my podcast. So yeah, I don't put the names for like designers and yarns and stuff. I know that a lot of podcasts do that, and I love that, but I don't, because I've been podding in podding. My Swedish podcast is 5 years old, and eventually I stopped recording because I didn't like the editing part. I love sitting down and talking, but I don't like to edit my videos. So therefore I stopped. So, and then I had a lovely conversation with a dear friend of mine, and she said, "But just stop editing. We just want to see your podcasts." So that's what I did. I do try to write like show notes on Instagram, because I always publish on Instagram when I have launched a new podcast episode. So that's where you can go and check what the pattern name was, or who the designer was, and things like that. I'm sure I will butcher a lot of names, so it could be quite nice to go check that out. And yeah, my account on Instagram is called tantcilla, which is translated to like auntie Silla, or like old woman Silla. I think auntie might be the best translation. Um, and I chose that name for myself because I'm very much like a young old lady. uh, I love everything about elderly women, and I have about the same interests as they do. And yeah, I love knitting and baking and cooking and gardening and um, doing crosswords and yeah, stuff like that. Oh no, had to re-knit the stitch. So I hate knitting hats. I'm knitting a hat with this lovely yarn. Um, I'm not sure about what kind of wool it is. Just that it's 100% wool, and it is soft. It's really nice. It's a very nice yarn. Sorry. And I'm knitting this pattern. It's called Kajsa hat by a Swedish designer called Sara Stark. She is Blackbird Knits on Instagram, and it's just a basic ribbed hat, and I've already knitted 2 of these. As I told you, I hate knitting hats, so I don't have any hats, and when I knit hats, which is very rare, they always end up being borrowed by my 2 younger daughters, and they lose them. At least the older one of the 2 youngest. They lose them, and that's not. It's not making me exactly happy that I've knitted something that I hate knitting, and then it just vanishes somehow. So I've decided that I'm gonna knit hats now, and they can't borrow them. I need these hats for myself. But I knitted 2 of these, and one of them it was too small for me. I have a problem with that, to get the right size on hats, and I guess that's a part of why I don't like knitting them. I don't know how to get the right size. It's usually too big or too small or whatever. I I don't make swatches for knitted hats, so that could be like a reason, but I don't know. But this one is turning out really well. You're gonna fold up the brim quite high, and I like that. It's 2x2 ribbing all the way, and it fits really well. Now it's a beanie, which it won't be. I still have like it's kind of the brim left, and the crown is very pretty on this design. This is one that I knitted. This was the first or the second Kajsa hat that I knitted, because the first one got lost, of course. And this is how the crown looks, and I like it very much. I think it's so pretty when the ribbing goes like this, how to speak. This one I knit in one strand of Rauma fin ull, and one strand of some kind of mohair kid, super kid silk, something like that. So it's really nice, very fluffy and warm and nice. I'm gonna put it on so you can see. And I've used this every time I go outside since I finished it. And I like this little top. It's really cute. And the other one I finished now, it got too small. That yarn was thicker, so I thought to myself that, well, I can do this. I could just cast on lesser stitches and take it from there. But it got too small still. so I gave it to my youngest. She loves it. She has not lost it, which is very nice. It's a red one. Let's see. I had a yarn. Once I had a yarn somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Otherwise, nah, it's not here. Oh my god. Okay, this is me. This is 100% me. The yarn that I was looking for is straight in front of me. It's below the camera. Oh my god, yeah. So the hat that I knitted for my youngest girl is the same as this one, but it was red. It's a 100% organic merino wool, 350 meters on 100 grams, 382 yards. So I'd say it's a sport weight, but it feels like more a DK, because this one is also Rauma Final is also a sport, but this one feels a lot thicker. It feels a bit like the Rerum Natura not Gilead, the other one. Anytime. No, I lost it. The thinner one. It feels very much like that one. It's really pretty. I love this. And this will I will turn this into a hat as well. But then I will follow this pattern and see if maybe it could fit me instead. When we're talking about hats, I also cast on another kind of hat. Oh dear, I lost some. It doesn't matter. In one strand of Plötelopi and one strand of silk mohair, and I felt like I wanted a black hat, and this was the only black yarn I had, Plötelopi. But I love Plötelopi, and I think it would be a lovely hat. But again, I thought I knew things that I don't. So this one is a bit too small for me. I mean, maybe I could get it on, but it wouldn't suit me. So I'm gonna rip it up, or like I always do, I don't rip it. I don't frog it. I just cut the yarn and I start from there. And if If I need this yarn, then I will rip it. Otherwise, I don't, which is, I don't know, maybe wasteful, but it's not like I throw this away. I'm keeping it if I need that yarn, or yeah, something like that. So I'm not giving up. I will just cast on another one in this yarn with I usually I need to clarify this, that when it's like a usual yarn, I do rip it out, but this is unspun and silk mohair, and both of them are not. It's not very nice to rip, to frog that yarn. So I want to keep my knitting as fun and as fun as possible, since it's my hobby, and don't want any pressure or stress about it. I just want to enjoy my knitting time and the things I'm making and my yarns. It feels like this. I don't think I need more than maybe 10 centimeters more. So it's nice. It's really nice. But I've been knitting on other things as well. Let's start with the one I've made the most progress on. This is a lovely sweater called, I need to look at my notes. It's called Lorette. I showed you the backside. It's a pattern by a woman named Nadia, and the surname I don't dare to pronounce, but she's called NCL_knits on Instagram, and I will also link to her, of course, in my notes on Instagram. So this is a very lovely pattern. It's knitted top down, so it started with this lovely lace part. I did German twisted cast on, I think it's called. I do enjoy the Italian cast on, but I don't really like it in my, help me, what's it called? Up here on the ribbing. Because I usually make it too big. It gets too loose, so the sweaters gets like this, and I don't like that. So I usually make a German twisted cast on, and I like it. It's lovely. I think it's pretty. It's alright. Yeah. And when you finished the yoke section, not the yoke, the lace section, which is circular, and you make circular increases with the lace pattern, then you start doing raglan increases instead. And I love stripes, so that's really nice. I usually make my sweaters very cropped. I usually just knit them like 20 centimeters or something from under the armpit and down, because I do wear a lot of dresses and skirts, and I just like that look. I think that's flattering on me, so That's why I like to wear. But this one I made much longer. It's a proper sweater. Because I was thinking that maybe I could have like some of those at least. Love this color, love this yarn. It is, let me see if I have one with the, it's called Tynn Pergynt. Tynn is Norwegian, and it means thin, because there's another Pergynt as well, which is thicker, which is a DK, I think, and this is a fingering. It's 205 meters on 50 grams, so it's very nice. And I knitted in this light beige and brown color. Really lovely. Love it, love it, love it. So this is a really nice knit, and I've started one arm. This time I'm using magic loop, but I usually enjoy to knit like the arms and socks and stuff on those small circular needles that are like 18 centimeters, 20 centimeters, something like that, because I just think it's just much smoother than the magic loop, and I don't use double pointed needles anymore. Sometimes you just need to stop and breathe, don't you? I'm gonna show you the other thing. This is my newest cast on, which I'm knitting in. I don't have the tag with me, but this is a lovely yarn, also by Rauma. Rauma is a Norwegian wool yarn company. They have their own mill, and yeah, I'm not sure if I doubt that this yarn is spun at their mill, but because it's an alpaca lean, it's called, which I think lean is called like flocks in English. So it's very fluffy, very lovely. And I was kindly gifted this yarn from Rauma, and also one of my nearby yarn dealers, Lillemor from Limo Design. I think I made some mistakes. No, I did not make mistakes. This pattern is called, let me check my notes. It's called Eira sweater by a woman called Anne Fiskum Sunde, which sounds Norwegian to me. I'm not sure. I'm also not sure of her Instagram account, but I will link it, promise. So far I have made the collar, not collar, collar. The collar. That's the word I was looking for with the Lorette sweater. But yeah, I made the collar so far, and it's how do you say that? It's folded, so it's kind of thick and nice. It will be very, very nice. I'm not sure. It looks a bit big, but I don't really. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. So it's knitted in one strand of alpaca lean, and I enjoy it so far. This is a sweater, a top-down sweater, also knit in, I think it's 2x2 ribbing, and it has lovely raglan increases. So it's a basic sweater, and I like that. I like when you have this special yarn and you just want to show it off, like either the quality of the yarn, like this, it's kind of special, this with alpaca and flocks, or if it's like a lovely hand-dyed yarn or hand spun or something like that, then you just want to show off the yarn, and you don't really, or I don't want to lose it in some pattern or something like that. So I think it will be very, very, very lovely. It is soft. It is nice. But I know that a lot of people can't wear alpaca. So, but I can. I can do it. At least I think I can. I'm not sure. I'm not knitted that much in alpaca yarn, so we'll see. I hope I will be able to wear it. So I have two hats I'm gonna cast on, and one of them is in this yarn, and I will knit Kajsa again because I think it's a lovely, lovely pattern. So this one, and also, I think she lives in here in this lovely yarn. What's it called? Yarn pot that I bought from a Swedish ceramic person who does ceramics. And her account on Instagram is Garnkrukan. We'll link. And I think it's a really, really lovely pot. I don't really use these kinds of yarn pots, but I couldn't leave this one. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. Yeah, it's really, really lovely. And at the moment, this one lives in it. And this is also dyed by Lisa Lindkvarn. It's the same base as this one. Really, 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 really lovely. So almost the same. Maybe you understand my palette now, my color palette, what I like knitting in. Yeah. So I decided that I'm gonna have one hat on my needles at all times. Like when I'm done with that one, I'm gonna cast on a new one, and when I'm done with that one, I'm gonna cast on a new one. So I just want to build up like a nice little collection of hats that I could match with my clothes, and yeah, what I feel like that day. So I'm very, very happy about that. You could go back there. Yeah, oh, I'm almost sitting on it. I was gonna show you another thing I've finished recently, and speaking of alpaca, this is also alpaca. And this is a very special yarn to me. Me and my family went on vacation last summer to this beautiful island called Gotland, in the Baltic Sea. It's a really, really lovely place. And we visited my friend Victoria, and she lives next door to an alpaca farm, you call that. And the woman who owns the alpacas also makes yarn of it. And this one is hand spun, which is so lovely. It's a bit like, uneven, but I don't mind it at all. And this is exactly what I meant with showing off the yarn. This is a very, very how do you say, simple pattern. It's just in garter stitch, which I think shows off this yarn very, very lovely. And I love that it's shifting gray and brown. The alpaca that this wool comes from is called Hercules. So this is like my Hercules shawl, and I wear it all the time. It's so small. If you want to knit one like this, you should look at Petite Knit Sophie's scarf, because it's the same. So I wear it like this, kind of tight around my neck, and if it's even colder, I wrap another shawl around myself. Maybe this one, like this. So I can stay very cozy. And I wasn't gonna show this one, but it was just laying here. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called, or the designer name, or anything. But it's on my Ravelry page. My name is Tantcilla on Ravelry as well. It was really, really fun to knit this one. It's the technique is called mosaic. I'm not sure how to pronounce that in English, but yeah, it was very, very fun to knit. Also time consuming, and I remember that I was like, I just want to finish it. It took some time, but it's finished now, so so I enjoy that very, very much. And I mean, I usually only show knitting on my podcast, but recently I've gotten curious about embroidery. I used to love embroidery when I was a child, especially cross-stitching embroidery, but now I'm trying something else. I bought this kit from Tamar Nahir Yanai on Etsy. Let's see if I can show you the name of her company. It's very, very lovely. I bought this a couple of years ago when I was obsessed with plants. I love plants still, but I was obsessed. Now we live in a house, but we lived in an apartment, a flat, and I filled our our place with flowers and plants. You couldn't really see the outside because it was like a jungle. Yeah, but everything goes in phases for me, so yeah. But I'm knitting this one, and I'm doing some modifications. Especially I've added more color, more stitches to it. If you watch like this one example, this is how it looks in the pattern, and I thought it was a bit unhealthy. It didn't look very happy, so I made more on it, and I think it's so pretty, and it's kind of easy as well for a beginner. And I like that it's a printed fabric, so it it has some colors on it, and then you just make the lovely details on it. Mm-hmm. It's really nice. I'm not finished yet, but I'm getting there. It's not that much left. I can see. I have some left on this plant, and this lovely pattern on her shirt, on her sweater, is supposed to be on the whole sweater. So that's what I'm gonna do as well. And then I don't know. I might just fill in the flowers, and I mean the plants even more, because I like that. I like it lush, and I think it's so pretty, very pretty. And I want to do more of this, but maybe I won't buy kits again. Maybe I will draw something myself instead, and color it with thread. It's really nice. I have nothing left about yarn to talk about right now. I'll be back another day, so you can see my updates. It's called that. My progress on the things I knit right now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I think it was kind of fun to speak English. I guess I'll see what your reactions will be. If you don't like it, or if no English speaking or non-Swedish speaking person is watching, then I will just go back to Swedish, I guess. But otherwise I will continue with the English, because as I told you, it's really nice to practice in this safe space. I hope you enjoy this episode. I hope that you felt welcome. Yeah. So I talk to you soon. Bye.